Hello Taurus, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we are going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Taurus for the week of March 7th. Now Taurus, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now Taurus, I do not offer personal readings, so if you get a message from someone, that is not me, that's someone impersonating me. Please keep that in mind, please do not get scammed. I also only have one Instagram account, it's linked in the description below, so make sure you use that link if you do want to follow me. It is worth a follow. I do exclusive content on Instagram if you're on that platform. But let's see what we have here for you. Now, if you watch my content regularly and you've not yet hit the subscribe button, please do consider doing that. It really helps my channel grow in a big way. Same is true if this is just the first time that you are watching me. All right, so let's get all the cards out here. I do not read reversals if this is the first time that you are watching me, in case you were curious. So I'm going to take a few of these oracle cards here at the start, and then I'm going to take a few from this deck as well, put them right there. And then I'm also going to take 3 cards to clarify as we go along. So make sure everything's in view here, and then we'll get right into it. All right, energy on the bottom, you have the Ace of Pentacles. So Ace of Pentacles is a really nice card to find here on the bottom of the deck. So this talks about potentially some sort of new financial beginning in your life, Taurus. Now this can come in many forms, right? And so if it's not financial, it could be anything relating to the material in your life. And so, you know, you could, for example, be thinking about getting into a university, right? Or you may be thinking about adding a skill to your skill set or your repertoire that may increase your money earning potential. And so it can represent anything to do with that. And along with that, the Ace of Pentacles may say that you are about to do some kind of formal work, like signing off on contracts, doing paperwork, doing documentation, whatever the case may be, because oftentimes when you get a new financial beginning, right, you have to do a bunch of paperwork. Like when you get a new apartment, you have to sign a lease, or when you go through a mortgage application, you have to do all this paperwork, or when you get into a university, right, you have to apply. And so these are all sort of mundane things, but they're all ultimately very good because they're leading you to some sort of presumably happy new beginning in the material or in the financial realm. And it can also refer to like profit taking, making an investment as well. Like if you're into investing, this could certainly be a good sign for that as well. Anything to do with finances or the material just generally. So I definitely like to see that. Let's go ahead and continue forward here on this reading. So right away in the middle, you have the Strength card. So this is your current situation. This is a card that talks all about overcoming some sort of internal obstacle in your life. And the key here really is that you are sort of the only person that you are competing against is you when you have the Strength card showing up, okay? And so this talks about willpower, it talks about having courage to tackle your demons, courage to tackle your, whatever's going on internally at this time. And what could be going on here for you, as you have this Two of Wands in the problem position, this Two of Wands can talk about you potentially being indecisive, because this person here is at a fork in the road and they are really deciding on which path to go down. This can represent having to do research, planning, and discovery in order to get themselves onto the right path. And so if I'm looking at this, putting this together, some of you here are either holding back from doing some important research that you need to do, or some of you are on the other scale of that, on the other end of the scale. You are focusing so much on doing the research, focusing so much on planning that you're missing out on something. And hopefully that makes sense. So it can represent like when you get into that intense period of, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to plan everything down to the T, that can really lead to indecision, because by the time you've done all the research and the planning, the opportunity may be gone. And so there's something here around indecision on a choice between two options, right? And this may very well for some of you be about, do I stay or do I go in my career situation, like what I do for job or what I do for money? That could certainly be the case that you're looking to overcome, or the situation that you're looking to overcome. Now, in the past, you have the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is a card that talks about potentially deception in your life. This can talk about potentially lying, cheating, stealing. However, the Seven of Swords also has a much, I would say, more positive meaning to it. And this makes sense. It can say that you may need a game plan. You may need to create a strategy or take a clever approach to solving a problem. And so I see many of you here I feel like many of you here are planning something at this time, Taurus. And it's almost like I wonder if, what I'm seeing here is I do wonder if some of you need to move out of the planning phase and into the action phase. I actually see you doing that here in the future, but we'll get into that more as we go along. But in the future position, you have the King of Cups, which talks about somebody who may have problem acting. Okay, like in a love situation, the King of Cups is somebody who would be interested in you, but they would not take action towards you. Like they would not make a move towards you. You would probably have to make the first move on a King of Cups. But you can apply this to your situation as well, where the King of Cups is really great at listening to you. They're really great in understanding you and feeling you and helping you out emotionally. But the King of Cups, for them, they have a problem taking action. Or they can. And so I do wonder if some of you here are so research based, so research planning, preparation heavy, that it may be time to use a sort of, lack of a better phrase, go with the flow at this time. As you see, this person is sitting in water here, going with the flow at this time in some area of your life. Now, on your mind, in your conscious awareness or on your thoughts, you have the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles is inflow, outflow, okay? It says that the act of giving is just as important as receiving. You can see this person is literally giving right now, okay? They're giving to others in need. And it's the idea that as you give, you receive. And so it can refer to money coming in. It is definitely one that I like to see if you're in the running for a job raise, because it can indicate you earning money or getting money, especially with an Ace of Pentacles as well, which could also indicate money coming in some ways. And so, but the point is with the Six of Pentacles, the reason money is coming in is because you've given in some way. It doesn't mean just donations, but you may have gone the extra mile on a project, or you may have, been putting years into a workplace. You may have worked at the same place for 2 or 3 years, and now it's finally time to have that job raise, or it's finally time to, have that conversation with somebody. And so I get the sense that perhaps that's absolutely possible. I do feel like some of you are also maybe weighing. You can see the scales, the financial scales on the card, right? And so this can mean weighing options in terms of your financial situation. And so I do feel like this is coming in here with this Two of Wands, where you're looking at different choices here. You also, in the lower row, you have the Four of Pentacles. So you have a lot of pentacles coming in here. This is a very sort of pentacles heavy type of reading, as far as I'm concerned. And so this Four of Pentacles here, this person is hanging on to what they have just a little bit too tightly. They feel like there will never be enough. And that could not be further from the case. There will always be more opportunities in this lifetime for you, especially as you have something like an Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. And so I definitely feel like, some of you may be just looking at, are you talking to yourself in a negative way about money coming in and out? So in the future here, in the staff, in the direction that you are headed, and in your current influence, the way that you are influencing the situation, you have the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands is a quick event that typically brings good news. Okay, this is communication coming in from a distance. You can think phone calls, text messages, letters, emails, whatever the case may be. The Eight of Wands says that there is some type of good news coming in. And it won't be like an in-person meeting. It'll be, like digitally or from a distance in some ways. This can also represent travel by air, travel by flight, travel to long distances, but it's also accelerated motion. It's the feeling of getting unstuck. I think you're getting unstuck. I think this issue around deciding here, with the Two of Wands, I think is going to change for you. You have the Chariot, which is another potential card of travel. This one's travel by vehicle, while the Eight of Wands may be travel by flight. The Chariot here, though, is similar to the Strength card, number 7, number 8, right? The thing about the Strength and the Chariot card that's so interesting is both cards indicate overcoming obstacles. The difference is the Chariot indicates overcoming external obstacles, and you have this Chariot card in the external influence, okay? And so for some of you, this is a victory, though. The other thing about the Chariot, it does refer to a victory happening in your life through self-discipline. So I almost feel like there could be, I get the sense that some of you are going to have like 2 or more offers. Even though we don't have any pages, we do have this Ace of Pentacles, we do have the Six of Pentacles, and this may be a deciding factor for you in, which path you go down here. In the hopes and fears, you have the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is a very, very good card. This is about your wish coming true, or the fulfillment of a wish. It's the feeling of having your cups overflowing here, presumably. As you can see, this person's holding up their cup. They're celebrating. They have a really nice smile on their face. Things are going well for them. And this can represent you having big dreams in your hopes and fears situation. I would say it's a good thing to have that there, because it's better to have a dream than to not have a dream. You also here in the outcome, you have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords talks about, really cutting to the chase, being an independent person, and potentially cutting through whatever's no longer serving you. The Queen of Swords could also be somebody who's able to give you wise counsel. Like, they may be somebody who has extremely wise advice for you. And so let's go ahead and start to clarify. Let's see what this is. I think there's someone in your corner here, and I think this looks very good to me in terms of making the decision, cutting through the indecision here with the Two of Wands and the Queen of Swords in the outcome. So you have the Justice card, the Three of Cups, and the Moon. Here's the deal. The Justice card says that all parties eventually will get the outcome they deserve. Okay, you've been putting in the work and the effort here with the Six of Pentacles and the Chariot. Now with the Ace of Pentacles, you will be rewarded for the effort that you have shown. But it says that it depends on what actions you've taken. The Three of Cups represents joy, celebration, happiness, and the Moon talks about trusting your intuition or working through subconscious fears. I get the sense that that's because this lower card here is the subconscious. I get the sense that some of you are concerned about loss of money or loss of salary or something along those lines. To me, it looks pretty good in terms of opportunities coming in. You have don't stop and remain positive. Okay, that remain positive card I think is really what is coming forward for me. You have this yes and big happy changes. So the big happy changes is one of the better cards to find in this Oracle deck. I definitely see that coming in for you here, especially as you decide on the path that you want to go down. You have Shaman and Druid. Wow. Trust in higher forces as well as hold the space. So that's extremely grounding, extremely earth-centered types of energy. You also here have the Eagle, see from a higher perspective, as well as dream and journey. You have a dream here. Okay, there's no question about it with the Nine of Cups in the hopes and fears, as well as this drum energy. You're seeing from a higher perspective and realizing that you will make the right choice in the right time. So I love this reading for you. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Feel free to sign up for my email list, and I will see you in the next reading.